Modern sales success relies on a rigorous, engineered system. It requires equipping a team with the exact tools, training, and data needed to close deals. Go back before the 2010s, and sales operations were overwhelmingly manual. Teams operated in silos, relying heavily on localized spreadsheets, printed product catalogs, and face-to-face training sessions. This hands-on approach created a massive operational bottleneck. Salespeople spent critical hours typing data into disconnected trackers or searching for physical collateral. The result was sluggish productivity, constant data entry errors, and sales reps delivering completely inconsistent brand messaging to prospects. Fixing inefficiencies requires dismantling the decentralized model entirely. Organizations must rebuild enablement strategies around a centralized, tech-driven architecture, a structured hub where information is standardized. Here, data moves rapidly and uniformly, ensuring every representative has immediate access to accurate product details and customer history. To survive in the modern market, businesses have to actively construct this digital ecosystem. That means abandoning manual data entry, establishing strict implementation protocols, and engineering a system that tracks performance at every step of the sales cycle. But before deploying any new software, organizations have to map the exact inefficiencies in their current workflow. You cannot automate a broken process. This begins with a rigorous SWOT analysis, identifying internal strengths like robust customer relationships, pinpointing weaknesses like outdated tracking methods, and mapping external variables like emerging markets or competitive threats. The outputs of this evaluation form the specific blueprint for the new organizational architecture. It defines exactly what the system needs to support. And the absolute center of gravity for that architecture is the Customer Relationship Management System, or CRM. The CRM acts as the single source of truth. It mechanically pulls in scattered lead information, standardizes it, and organizes the data so sales teams can track interactions and forecast revenue in one centralized location. By automating follow-up reminders and lead tracking, the CRM directly eliminates the administrative drag that previously kept salespeople tied to spreadsheets instead of negotiating with clients. This database layer is the absolute prerequisite. Without a centralized, properly configured CRM, any subsequent technological tools will fail because the underlying data remains disorganized. Once the database is secure, the next structural layer snaps into place, the sales enablement platform. This application layer acts as the distribution network. It actively manages the flow of case studies and product catalogs out to the sales reps, while simultaneously tracking exactly how buyers engage with that collateral. With content and data flowing smoothly, the architecture supports its apex layer, artificial intelligence and machine learning tools. AI in this context is purely mathematical. It is rapid pattern recognition applied at scale to historical sales data, allowing the system to map out highly specific buying behaviors. By analyzing data trends, these algorithms generate predictive analytics. They identify subtle patterns in customer behavior, calculate the probability of a conversion, and flag high-value upsell targets before a human representative even spots them. These insights output highly actionable directives. For a specific client, the system can calculate the exact optimal communication channel and the precise time of day to send an email to maximize open rates. Adding this analytical layer converts the CRM from a passive filing cabinet into an active, strategic engine that adapts to market dynamics in real time. But designing a flawless digital architecture is entirely different from successfully deploying it across an actual workforce. In practice, implementation faces three distinct points of mechanical failure: legacy system integration, data security vulnerabilities, and end-user resistance. The first hurdle is structural. New sales platforms rarely operate in a vacuum. They must be wired into a company's older, existing IT infrastructure. Overcoming this requires close collaboration with IT departments. Teams must run isolated pilot tests to identify bottlenecks and ensure system compatibility before executing a full-scale rollout. Second is the vulnerability created by centralization. Gathering thousands of sensitive customer records into a single location increases the operational risk of a data breach. To mitigate this, the architecture must incorporate strict encryption protocols and access controls. Regular security audits are mandatory to maintain compliance with data protection regulations like the GDPR and the CCPA. The final and often most volatile point of failure is human behavior. Employees routinely resist sudden changes to their daily workflow. Management solves this operationally by involving sales reps in the software selection process from day one, maintaining transparent communication, and deploying gamification tactics, like leaderboards and digital badges, to directly incentivize adoption. The most sophisticated technology stack in the world yields zero return if the operators simply refuse to use it, or if poorly configured security protocols expose the company to a catastrophic data leak. Once the system is live and secure, the organization needs strict telemetry to prove the new architecture is financially valid. This requires a benchmark. Management must gather baseline performance data before the software is installed, establishing a clear mathematical starting point for comparison. This dashboard illustrates the specific key performance indicators required to evaluate the system. It tracks the overall win rate, calculates the customer acquisition cost, and estimates the total customer lifetime value over the duration of the relationship. These indicators feed directly into the ultimate metric for any technology deployment: return on investment. You calculate this by taking the net income generated by the new system, dividing it by the total cost of the initial investment, and multiplying by 100. Crucially, that net income calculation must capture both tangible benefits, like the direct increase in sales revenue, and intangible benefits, like the hours of employee productivity saved through automation. By enforcing this rigorous quantitative feedback loop, an organization guarantees its tech stack functions as a measurable profit driver rather than an unchecked operational expense. This is the completed architecture, a system that actively replaces disjointed manual effort with a centralized, highly automated, and AI-augmented revenue engine. And with this infrastructure in place, the stack can begin integrating its next immediate evolution, moving beyond back-end data processing to deploy immersive tools directly on the front lines of customer engagement, specifically the integration of spatial computing. Virtual reality and augmented reality applications are quickly becoming the new standard for sales presentations. For example, Audi utilizes VR technology inside its physical showrooms, enabling buyers to virtually explore and completely customize car models before committing to a purchase. Brands like IKEA and Sephora use augmented reality to provide interactive product tutorials and spatial visualization, allowing users to see exactly how a piece of furniture fits in their living room, drastically reducing purchase hesitation and driving immediate conversions. These tools prove that sales enablement is never a static achievement. Instead, it is a continuously evolving architectural process that must adapt to shifting customer expectations and rapidly changing global markets. By systematically abandoning localized silos and aligning a centralized technological architecture with rigorous KPIs, organizations ensure sustained revenue growth and lock in lasting competitive